CR7 wife. After choosing the wedding location with Cristiano Ronaldo, Georgina Rodriguez looks stunning in a red bikini. The world is still enthralled by Cristiano Ronaldo's fiancée, Georgina Rodriguez, for her natural elegance and composure. She posted a collection of stunning pictures from a recent beach vacation, just days after the pair decided on their ideal wedding location on the sun-kissed beaches of Madeira. The 31-year-old Argentine-Spanish model sprinted across beautiful dunes under a clear blue sky while sporting a bright red bikini that accentuated her toned body. Georgina's admirers were in awe of her combination of sophistication and playfulness, especially when she wore a clean white baseball cap to protect her eyes from the sun. Over the Maldives, the morning light cast a lovely golden glow that was both brilliant enough to make the white sand glisten like powdered pearls and gentle enough to warm the flesh. Georgina Rodriguez allowed the wind to blow over her hair as she stood on the balcony of their exclusive overwater property. Cristiano Ronaldo was still sprawled out on the huge bed behind her, looking through pictures that the resort crew had given them the previous evening via the open glass doors. "You're actually up already?" Cristiano smiled drowsily as he inquired. Georgina turned with a playful cross of her arms. "Someone needs to ensure that your wedding preparations proceed according to plan." She gave a wink. Cristiano stretched and chuckled, that deep, sincere laugh she always cherished. "Well, where are we going today since you're the boss?" Georgina raised a little notepad that was covered in hearts and doodles. "Location. Last choice. Don't back down." Cristiano took a seat. "You say that as if we were voting over who gets the last piece of pizza." She tapped his nose and remarked, "This is bigger than pizza. This is the point at which we say, 'I do.'" Their speedboat zoomed over blue water by late morning. They still had 3 locations on their list. As they rowed, Cristiano put his arm around Georgina and leant into the wind. "Isn't that unbelievable?" he remarked quietly. "After all of this, we're actually picking a wedding location." Georgina leant her head against his shoulder. "Life is humorous. One moment, you're a young girl dreaming about the future you want to have, and the next moment you're arranging your actual one on a boat with your soulmate." The botanical garden was their first stop. The sight of butterflies fluttering in the air like confetti and flowers hanging from enormous trees was stunning. Georgina gave a gasp. "This looks like something out of a dream," Cristiano muttered. "It wasn't flawless, though." Georgina remarked reflectively, "This place is lovely, but when I walk down the aisle, I want to see the ocean." The cliffside pavilion came next. The view halted them both as soon as they entered. The sky, the sea, and the promise of their future were all mirrored in the glass walls. "Imagine you walking towards me right here," Cristiano remarked, firmly grasping Georgina's hand. Her heart skipped a beat. It was visible to her. She sensed it. Then came the calm, pristine, and remote private island. Fireworks coloring the sky during the first dance, floating lanterns, and candlelight walkways were some of the possibilities described by the wedding planner. Cristiano gazed about in wonder, but Georgina had that familiar look of thoughtfulness on her face. She took Cristiano's hand after they had been strolling around the beach for an hour. She declared, "I know what I want." That was the end of it. The choice was made. The most significant event of their lives would take place at the Cliffside Pavilion, where the sky melted into the water. After everything was completed, they returned to their villa that evening. Georgina donned the gorgeous red bikini she had saved for a special day, and she looked great today. Cristiano froze as he looked up from the lounge chair. His eyes widened as he muttered, "Wow." "With that, you're going to destroy the internet." Georgina stepped barefoot onto the sand and giggled. "Well, allow it to shatter. I'm content." With the waves lapping at her ankles, she dashed to the shore. Cristiano reached for the camera and took pictures of her happiness, her radiance, and the orange and pink hues of the setting sun behind her. As he took pictures, she twirled, leapt, and posed in a fun manner, both of them exuding sheer joy. Fans all throughout the world went crazy in a matter of minutes. "Stunning! Well done! We're getting married soon." "Georgina, you look radiant." However, Georgina didn't care about the attention. The quiet moment following the pictures, when Cristiano put his arms around her from behind and rested his chin on her shoulder, was what mattered. "You look stunning," he murmured. She leant on him. "I feel lovely." "And content?" "More than before." With their toes buried in the soft sand, they watched the waves together. With only the two of them, the rising moon, and the sound of the waves, the world seemed so far away. With a gentle kiss on the crown of her head, Cristiano said, "I am so excited to wed you." Georgina grinned, her eyes sparkling. "I am eager to become your wife." Just the two of them, without any staff, cameras, or other distractions, ate dinner under the sky. A small platform over the river was reached by candles shaped like a path, which Cristiano had set up as a surprise. There, he presented her with a lovely bracelet that bore the coordinates of the wedding location they had selected. Georgina's voice wavered. "It's gorgeous, Cristiano," he declared. "It's the place where I'm going to promise you everything. I wanted to share some of it with you tonight." Silently, she gave him a deep hug, a warm, thankful, and destiny-filled embrace. Georgina gave him the kind of soft challenge that always made him smile before they entered. Like teenagers, they rushed across the sand, mocking, laughing, and stumbling. She screamed with laughter as they arrived at the stairs, and Cristiano lifted her in his arms. The serene resort where Georgina Rodriguez and Cristiano Ronaldo had covertly withdrawn was bathed in long strands of golden light as the sun had barely started to rise over Madeira's serene coastline. The island was serene, almost reverent, as if it recognized the importance of the choice they had made just days before, deciding on the location where they would shortly exchange vows. The island served as a link between Georgina's past and future. Cristiano's early recollections, his family customs, and the tales that influenced him were all stored in Madeira. The promise of a life they would create together was something she now had as well. With the gentle seaside wind blowing through the open balcony of their villa, Georgina awoke before Cristiano. Being cautious not to wake him, she carefully slipped out of bed. She was still feeling the thrill of the day before. Picking the wedding location had caused feelings she wasn't ready for. She changed into a bright red bikini that matched the hue of the rising sun. She then reached for a white baseball cap, pulled her hair back into a loose ponytail, and stepped out onto the sand. There was nobody on the beach. She was greeted only by the waves' murmured discourse. She stayed motionless for a minute, taking in the salty air as if she were attempting to take in the tranquility. In her hectic existence full of travel, cameras, and expectations, she rarely felt anchored. "I just want to feel free today," she said to herself. Georgina's footsteps sank into the warm sand as she started to jog along the shore. In contrast to the immense blue of the water, the red bikini glowed like a moving flame in the sunlight. Matteo, Cristiano's photographer friend who had accompanied them on the journey, lifted his camera a few hundred meters away. He had been waiting for the ideal light since the break of day. "Gio!" he exclaimed. She paused and turned, grinning broadly. "You're amazing," he chuckled. "You appear to be a living postcard." Georgina gave a light-hearted, confident shrug. She remarked, "It's the island." Everyone glows when Madeira is around. As she leapt, spun, and ran down the water's edge, Matteo took photo after image, unaffected by the meticulous posing she typically did for magazines. Her happiness was infectious and organic. She wasn't the famous Georgina Rodriguez here. At the beginning of the next phase of her life, she was just Gio, a lady in love. Soon after, Cristiano showed up behind her, his hair disheveled from sleep and still wearing his workout shorts. His normally steely gaze softened in appreciation as he observed her for a minute. He mocked, "You initiated the fun without me." The sound of Georgina laughing floated across the sea. "You were soundly asleep." "Well, I was dreaming of my bride," he grinned. Her cheeks warmed in spite of herself as she rolled her eyes. He approached her and planted a kiss on her cheek. "Come on, let's make today matter," he urged. They walked along the beach together. Occasionally, Cristiano would stoop to retrieve a seashell, saying it was for their daughter. Soon, instead of trophies, their home would be filled with shells. Georgina teased him. Georgina stopped when they came to a rocky inlet and put her hand on Cristiano's arm. "Chris, is it ever too much for you?" Silently, she inquired. "What do you mean?" "The focus. They're watching us. The need to be flawless." Cristiano became softer. "Daily," he acknowledged, "but then I realize why it is irrelevant." He put his hands on her shoulders. "Because I go to you to find silence when the world is noisy." Her eyes glistened. The waves lapped at their ankles as she leant against him. Matteo waved enthusiastically as Georgina posed for a last round of pictures later that afternoon. You're not gonna believe this. A little fishing boat came up to the beach. Inside, an old woman with a patterned scarf around her hair stood. She strode onto the sand with unexpected power when she got there. She smiled brightly and replied, "I know who you are, but don't worry, I'm not here to take selfies." Georgina let out a relieved laugh. The woman gave her a little wooden box with carvings on it. She clarified, "My husband made this many years ago. He always thought that genuine love ought to be safeguarded. I'd like it for you." There was a small, warm, smooth wooden heart within. Georgina watched them with affection as Cristiano put an arm around her. She remarked, "You two remind me of us. Continue selecting one another every day, even the difficult ones." Georgina was deeply affected by what she said. The sky glowed crimson and gold as dusk drew near, matching the hues of her bikini as if the cosmos had worked in unison with her. With fresh fruit, cheese, pastries, and a bottle of Madeira wine, Cristiano set up a picnic on the sand. With their feet buried in the cool sand, they sat close together. He said, "Are you happy?" Georgina rested her head on his shoulder. "I'm overjoyed. I feel secure, observed, adored." Cristiano took out the wooden heart that the elderly woman had given them by reaching inside his pocket. "This serves as a reminder," he stated. "We protect ourselves no matter what." Georgina's throat tightened with emotion as she gazed at him. Later that evening, Georgina looked through Matteo's pictures of her grinning, running, and splashing in the waves. She saw a woman living a moment she would never forget in each one. Rather than a model, she simply captioned the pictures when she posted them. In a matter of minutes, her admirers were ecstatic, complimenting her attractiveness, self-assurance, and brilliance. Georgina, however, put her phone down and huddled into Cristiano's arms as the numbers surged into the millions. She whispered, "Let them talk." "I am exactly where I wish to be." Cristiano gave her a forehead kiss. He declared, "You're my red horizon, the start of everything." Greetings and welcome to my channel, dear viewers. I'm Amelia. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video.